Hey, it's Mashhur here. Thanks for joining. As you know that we had the live event coming up on September 21st and then 22nd and 23rd, the three-day live event. And I wanted to talk about a few ideas and concepts. I've done a couple of preview calls, but want to give you a summary and some of the new things that keep popping up as I experiment more with the different concepts we will play with. Now, first of all, on Friday, and especially earlier in the day on Friday, I will go a little bit into the holographic model of reality, some of the things scientists are talking about, and some of the things we are finding out. So if you're brand new to holograms and how things work, you'll get a good idea about it. And if you already know a lot about it, then you will also go deeper into the hologram. So the idea behind the playing with basic concepts of holograms and doing some journeys and integration certainly is to look at opening up more so that you can begin to shift reality using the holographic model. And then basically the rest of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will go a lot more into designing reality with magic. One of the things we notice in today's world is sometimes there's a lack of hope. Sometimes we see all kinds of things happening and we're not sure where things are going. So as we tune more into cosmic energies and start to play more with holograms and the holographic model and different timelines, we have the power to shift reality faster in our favor. So it's not just about abundance or relationship, but it is about initiating a global change. So that is the primary objective behind this weekend. One, you start to shift your reality, and then you begin to make a global impact so that people on Earth and the Earth itself and the environment, we start to create a lot of harmony everywhere. So some of the things we will play with, and you will get a lot of practice with this, is some type of what I'm calling thought experimentation, but it's more structured thought experimentation. When we look at a lot of scientists like Einstein, Tesla, Edison, we hear about how they have gone into different altered state of consciousness, or how they've experimented with thoughts, or how they have taken quick naps to come up with ideas. So one of the big things we will play is how to use that process, but in a structured way, using a particular diagram so that you can quickly go from one point to another point and use that same model for health and wellness, for abundance, for finances, for a lot of global changes. And we will play with initiating or taking an idea and then start to initiate a process of transformation, using different tools, processes, and a lot of magic and miracles. Then you can follow that structured process to enhance your thought process and guide it toward what some other results that you're looking for. So this structured thought process, it can take you through an idea or a scenario, very easily in maybe 30 seconds or a minute as you practice more, and you can start to implement this right away. So you can play with this for yourself, for your company, or helping your clients in many different ways. So then that's one of the things we will play with. And then, a couple of other things. First, I've been talking about the timeline sphere. So we will start to play a lot with the timeline sphere. So when you understand how that model works, you can take structured thought process or use other processes, or implant, let's say, different vortex energies, or run different holographic tools and programs for different parts of your life. So it could be past, present, future, we will go beyond that linear model, so you can implant things in, let's say, 2016 or 2008 or 2024, and then allow that process to grow, allow the seeds to grow and to develop, and then the results can show up more easily. So you don't have to start a process now and wait 5 years. You can start a process in the past, in a linear way, but we understand that all timelines are simultaneous. So this is a different concept you will get to play with. And again, we will play with a structured, guided process so that you can implement it for abundance, finances, relationships, health and wellness, and initiate a lot of global changes. So as we shift our reality, we will also focus on shifting global reality. Now, some of the other thing is, for example, feedback loop. You will learn to set up feedback loops, and again, we will play them or place them in different parts of your life journey. So there are different feedback loops you can implement for, let's say, past, present, future, and allow the feedback loops to grow. I will go deeper into it. It's basically, it's almost like two players playing a tennis match, and what they're playing with is, instead of a tennis ball, they're playing with an abundance vortex, or a concentrated abundance energy. And as the energies go bounce back and forth, it keeps expanding, and then at some point the feedback loop expands beyond your specified parameters or specified time, or beyond the tennis court, and basically it spreads all over. And then you can notice the impact coming in from the feedback loop, through different parts of your life. So we will set up a lot of those processes, for different areas of your life, and you'll practice a lot. You will set up a lot, at the live event. So that for that reason, it becomes very powerful, because when we do this together, we can shift reality faster. And then we will set up a lot of play with a lot of magical realms, and set up a lot of magical environment. Like in my house, I have a lot of connections, or different levels of consciousness, and I create almost like different games, around me in the environment. So yeah, I create an uplifting environment, and you can start doing that for, let's say, your property. And if you have a backyard, your backyard. If you have a park near you, then at the park or wherever you go. So you can begin to set this up and shift the energy for the home, office, business, and those regions. So those magical habitats that I call them, they become very powerful in supporting you and your journey and everything. And then certainly we will play with the crystalline projection. We will go deeper into it, use multi-tier crystalline projection. And again, we will use that structure diagram, or thought experimentation process that I mentioned. So even with crystalline projection, you will get to practice that same structure diagram or process. So you can start to use the projection for one vision, then another one, and another one. And in a very short time, without getting distracted, you can move through the things pretty quickly. So as you practice that and develop those skills, then you can, go back home after the event and keep implementing those processes, and spend a few minutes, every day, going through some of the structured processes, and really look at how you can first enhance your skills even more, and then shift your reality, and then go deeper into creating a lot more magic and miracles. And then the other big thing we will practice with is the group dynamics, group projection, playing with group energies of eight. There has been some research around it, and actually some of the community members have been using the groups of eight to manifest a lot. So we will hear about those, and then we will put that in practice. So I will talk about, first of all, setting up your group at the event, and then carrying on. And then you will also learn how to play with in some different ways, still using that group of eight. But what happens if you don't have eight, right, all the time? But you will learn how to use some of the energetic connections to have similar results or even more powerful results. So, we will play a lot with this, all these ideas, and certainly there's going to be a lot of journeys and exploration, and a lot of connection with different stellar consciousness, focusing on alignment. So we will notice a mixture of all these energies and different experimentations and different processes. So I am really passionate about some of the things like the live event, because when we come together, we create a different bond, and we create a soul journey bond, and then we can also support each other in our journey a lot more than just being on the call remotely. And when we physically come together, we amplify the effect. So as we play with mind-body consciousness, as we play with shifting your mindset, as we play with different processes, then collectively we can come together, do all those projections for everybody and amplify the results, and then you can continue to build on that, and then really look at shifting your inner world and your external world. So come with the intention of creating a major shift in your life, so that when you go back home, then everything can change to empower you. And if you have a chance to stay an extra day or two, come and stay. Some of the members of our community, plan to visit the Magic Forest here. Well, I call it Magic Forest, and some others who have visited, we all call it Magic Forest, and sometimes I do my recordings there. So, you can play in the Magic Forest, and there are a lot of other places where you can go and hang out with everybody, so that you don't just rush home. You allow some process for you to, some time for you to integrate everything and allow everything to anchor. Okay, so have fun. I hope to see you, and really let's look at playing more with magic and creating that as a new standard for yourself. So have fun, and I will see you in the hologram.